Ladies and gentlemen, how about a round of applause for the class of 2022? Good afternoon and welcome to the commencement exercises for the Medfield High School graduating class of 2022. To get us started, please join me in welcoming to the stage Senior Paul Narkowicz, who's going to lead us in the singing of the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dia Yadapathaya, your senior class president. And good morning, friends, family, faculty, staff, alumni, and of course, the reason why we are all here today, the class of 2022. So as an ode to the class of 22, I treated this speech like a homework assignment, which means I wrote it the night before. And when I got to brainstorming ideas at 8 o'clock last night, I realized the best way to truly express my gratitude towards this community was in the form of letters. So here we go. Dear teachers and administration, thank you. Without your constant support and tardy slips, we would not be here today ready to graduate, nor would we know the fastest way to get to school. When the world didn't make sense and COVID was a constant in our life, you teachers helped us feel a sense of normalcy, continuing to teach and stick with us throughout all of the instability. While the class of 2022 missed out on a lot, your compassion and empathy made it easier for us. And for that, we thank you guys. We truly appreciate the dedication and time you guys take to help us succeed. You have made an everlasting impact on our life. Dear parents and family, from dropping us off to the big yellow school bus on our first day of kindergarten, carrying a backpack bigger than ourselves, to now, watching us throw our caps in the air, ready to graduate. This is an emotional time. You've watched us grow up, when we went through our flash tat and silly band phase, our cringy middle school slime and fidget spinner phase, our we're too cool for pictures mom phase, and yet you have still supported us throughout it all, the good and the ugly. Thank you for constantly pushing each and every one of us to be better. It is because of you all that we are sitting here today. And finally, dear class of 2022. Wow, how we've had a unique high school experience. When I reflect back on our time here, I realize how lucky we truly are. Even with the global pandemic ravaging through our sophomore and junior year, I can say this chapter of our lives was a successful one. But what truly is success? Living in this highly competitive and accomplished town, the definition of success has been twisted and mangled up into something incredibly difficult to attain. I walked into this school freshman year with the idea that success equaled the highest GPA, the hardest classes, and the college with the lowest acceptance rate. But as I went through these 4 years with you all, I realized I was wrong. I realized success is so much more than that. With the difficult college application process this year, I think many of us had to reevaluate what success meant to us. I know I did. It took a solid 5 college rejections for me to start writing my own definition of success. You see, the world forces a box of expectations, often with air holes too small to breathe out of. They tell you that there is only one path up the mountain. But let this serve as a reminder that there are many paths up the mountain, and success is something you write for yourself. Success is something only you can define. But throughout my years here at Medfield High School, I formulated a working definition for myself. Success is measured on the experience you had. It's about looking back and realizing that if nothing else, you learned something. Anything really. It's recognizing that you can that you can close this chapter and be happy with the sentences written. Because life is not about the number in your transcript, the amount of APs you took, or how many home runs you hit. Life is about experiences. It's about making memories. And I plan on carrying that definition in my coat pocket for the rest of my life, to always remember it wherever I am. So I encourage you to start writing your own definition of success, whether it's to add on to mine or to create your own, and to carry it wherever you go. We're taking this off. Lastly, to the 196 students that walk this stage today, I admire each and every one of you. To your parents, I thank you for raising such unique children whose character inspires others to be their best. I am amazed to think that in the sea of Carolina blue, I know a future computer engineer or a future doctor. I know a future rocket scientist, entrepreneur, or Broadway star. I know 196 future Medfield High School alumni, 196 people who will change the world in their own way, and 196 who have made a change in mine. Congrats, class of 2022. Best, your senior class president, Dia Yadapathaya.
Thank you, Dia. Good afternoon. Before I make my remarks, there are several people I'd like to thank for making today absolutely perfect. I want to thank our assistant principals, Brenda Hagan and Heather Mendoza, for their many efforts over the past week to ensure the senior events went smoothly. Thank you. I want to thank our senior class advisors, Linnea Boyerstedt and Perry Oasis, for their work over the years, and I know today is one filled with mixed emotions for them. Thank you, Lynn and Perry. Our custodians and maintenance crew have spent the past 2 days setting up the staging, tents, and chairs, and every great show needs a director, and we have a great one in Maura Fitzgerald. So again, thank you for all for making today a great day. Friends, parents, teachers, honored guests, and to the amazing graduating class of 2022. As principal, it's my honor and absolute privilege to have this opportunity to speak to you as we celebrate your graduation from Medfield High School. This celebratory event has so much meaning. It not only represents the completion of your high school years, but it also represents your hard work and commitment. In a year that saw us finally return to a sense of normalcy, you stood out as leaders in our building, setting the tone for the younger grades to follow. But this is not a surprise, because it's who you are. And this year you demonstrated over and over again. You have two great leaders in Dia Yadapathaya and Caitlin Panciaco. Round of applause for Caitlin and Dia. We worked closely behind the scenes with these two student leaders to make sure we were able to return most of the events that seniors have become accustomed to here at Medfield High School, like the senior cruise, in-person pep rally, prom, and the senior events of this past week. The Medfield High School class of 2022 will certainly leave its mark on our learning community. We won't soon forget how Madeline Kermey and Paul Narkowicz started off each day with our morning announcements, nor will we forget Namai Kinney and Samantha Reddy's talents on stage. We won't forget Maya Hilbert and TJ's heart and passion they displayed every game on the field and on the court. We won't forget the Student Council e-board's many efforts in organizing school events. We won't forget Jack Stanton's entrepreneurial spirit, and we certainly won't forget Alex Lesby and Bella Gangemi winning multiple state championships in track and field. These and so many other memories are what we will hold on to as your teachers. And it's been our absolute pleasure to have had a front row seat to all that you've accomplished during your years at Medfield High School. But my friends, your work is certainly not complete. Your next journey will take you into a world that is complex, that is exciting and filled with incredible opportunities, yet also filled with so much that can be frustrating and sometimes difficult to comprehend. You see, we need the class of 2022 to be better than my generation. In my heart, I truly believe that if you maintain this positive energy and optimism, things can change. I believe if you, the class of 2022, can continue to communicate and listen to each other, perhaps our world will become a little less divisive. I believe if you continue to work hard and maintain the approach that it's important for everyone to function as a positive contributor to one's community, then yes, I believe change is in store for all of us. We need you to be the ambassadors of Goodwill. Now, I know what I'm asking is a lot, but I am convinced that you can make a difference, just like you've shown us these last 4 years. Graduates, before you head off into your next journey, please make sure you thank those that have helped you along the way. 2 nights ago, I sat out in the audience, just like our parents are doing, as my youngest son graduated from his high school. And like our parents today, my wife Carol and I were filled with many emotions, a sense of pride, happiness, excitement for his next journey. But just like I'm sure many of our parents here are experiencing right now, there was a sense of nervousness and a touch of sadness, knowing that this important phase of your lives is complete. As parents, we want to keep our children close to us, yet we know that we do need to let you go on to this next adventure. Graduates, I say this every year, but it's worth repeating. Whether it's your parents, your siblings, grandparents, an uncle, an aunt, a coach, a teacher, a neighbor, or a classmate, I can say with certainty that someone along the way has helped you. And as you head off into your next journey, please be sure to keep those loved ones close to your heart. Graduates, I think your family and friends that are here today deserve a standing ovation for you for all they've done to help you get to today. How about a round of applause for our family and friends? Thank you. On behalf of the entire staff here at Medfield High School, I want to thank you, the class of 2022, for letting me be a small part of your journey. As you move on to your next adventure, I wish you good luck and good health. Congratulations to the Medfield High School class of 2022. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Nimai Kinney. First and foremost, I'd like to take a moment to thank our parents and teachers who are with us today. We wouldn't be here without your support. I'd also like to thank my family for coming all over the country to make my graduation special. 0 scores and 4 years ago, we came in as confused freshmen, and now we are just as confused. My hope today is to spark a thought as to what you want to do and why it is worth sticking to, despite it all. Don't yuck anybody's yum. That spectacularly splendid advice from my English teacher, Mr. Reynolds, was as usual eccentric and wise. And I think I can take this quote one step further. The secret to happiness is to find your own yum. There are a lot of quotes out there about being unique. No one is you, and that's a superpower. Wake up and be the norm breaker. Even Dr. Seuss took a crack at it. Why fit in when you were born to stand out? All of these quotes make it sound so effortless. And while I can disagree that being unique in the end is good, I feel like they're misleading people about what's actually like to be unique, what's actually in store for those who choose to walk down the path less traveled. Being unique is hard. Straying from the group makes us panic at a fundamental level. I don't know about you, but I've definitely been in the situation where I've told myself, I'll just see what someone else does, and I'll do what they do. Our compulsion to conform prevents us from having space to grow and discover what we want to do. But this space can be lonely because sometimes people around you won't get what you're doing. And when people don't understand something, their instinct is to lash out. So why do it? Why be unique? Why walk down that lonely road? In my humble, inexperienced opinion, how else are you going to find happiness? When the Declaration of Independence talks about the pursuit of happiness, that pursuit can't happen if we submit to the expectations of others. Caring about what others who yuck on your yum is a waste of time for both you and them. And I think the best way to illustrate this is to walk you down memory lane about a new kid who played this weird sport that I'm sure you're sick of hearing about, squash. And no, for those who I haven't had the pleasure of annoying, it's not the vegetable, it's a sport, I swear. I moved here in the summer of 2018, frazzled, and failed one of the most basic questions a new kid could be asked. What sport do you play? Squash. Squash, I said. I immediately regretted my answer. I was met with understandably confused faces. After all, I don't have the buildup of a professional eater. I was met with understandably confused faces. After all, I enthusiastically spread the word, and people became more and more confused and annoyed by the day. I get it. Who wants to hear this loud, new kid talk about an alleged sport no one's heard of? To put it mildly, I was an acquired taste. I remember one kid, I'll never forget him. He point blank told me, "You'd be better off playing soccer instead of squash." I mean, he was right in the sense that it would have been easier. People understood and I wouldn't have had to explain myself constantly. But there was something that wouldn't let me. Maybe it was my love of squash. Maybe it was because I thought soccer wasn't that interesting. Maybe I was in too deep with the whole squash thing and I couldn't turn back now. But nevertheless, I stuck to it. And slowly but surely, my world was illuminated by those people who understood, accepted, and supported me and my yum. People I proudly call my friends today. I can't imagine my life had I tried to live it in somebody else's vision. So for as difficult for a journey as it was, you're the reason it was worth it. And I think that's the real reason you should be yourself. Because if you're constantly somebody else, then as time passes, you'll find yourself growing, changing, solidifying into someone who you weren't meant to be, who you wouldn't want to be. And I think that's one of the greatest tragedies that can happen, and frankly, a waste of time. Every single person here today has worked hard to achieve their goals. What's the point of working so hard, struggling so much, if you ultimately can't do what you want to do and be who you were meant to be? I remember a conversation I had with my teacher, Mr. Barrows, that changed my perspective. He brought up this interesting idea about frequency. Everyone has their own frequency, and the way to be happy is to keep trying different things until you find your frequency. And the way to be happy is to keep trying different things. He had traveled across the world and helped others, but as time passed, he found his yum here at Medfield High. I have to stress again that it's not going to be easy, and it may take days, weeks, months, even years before you see the light at the end of the tunnel. But the courage to be who you are brings with it a sense of relief and empowerment that makes life worth living. When you travel down that lonely road, you'll start to realize there are others out there like you, doing their thing, trying to do what makes them happy despite what others think. And through this discovery, you'll eventually find yourself surrounded by an amazing, diverse group of people who make you want to be yourself. The brave knight wanders, stumbling along unknown paths. Joy prevails at last. The future is upon us. It's time to go out into the world as our own people, trying to figure out what we want to do. If you take anything away from this, just do what makes you happy. And again, this cookie cutter advice doesn't mean taking the easy road. In fact, I may be asking you to take the most difficult one. However, the risks of taking a chance on yourself are far outweighed by the rewards of discovering your own yum. Just go for it. I can't wait to see what you do, class of 2022. Thank you so much.
Hello, everyone. If you can see me, I'm Kelsey Quint. Well, I guess what I first have to say is hello. It would otherwise seem improper of me to spew my opinions on all of you in the broiling heat without a proper greeting. But, well, now that we got that formality out of the way, please bear with me. Let me begin by painting a picture. It's the middle of March, and I am perched on my bed attempting to write this very essay for all of you. I hear the television blaring in the next room, my little brother and his friend playing basketball outside, and my mother conducting a 100-piece orchestra with the dishes downstairs. I'm willing to bet that we have all been there, trying to focus amidst the chaos. I know I have, and it's usually constrained by a midnight deadline. But this time was different. I wasn't asked to reflect on the race to save the Lord God bird, or analyze the depths of Macbeth's psyche. No, now my task was so much harder. What message can I construct? What amazing words can I string together to memorably cap off our 12 years? I suppose that in a typical graduation speech, I might share what I've learned. So let me do just the opposite. Let me tell you what I did not learn these past years. I never did learn when I will ever, ever need the quadratic formula. I believe we have all muttered something similar when we realized that we lost a point for forgetting the plus or minus in the beginning. We clenched our teeth, balled up our fists, and decided that math is pointless. Why do we need to know this formula anyways? Now, I still have no answer to this deep philosophical question, but what I can offer is a lesson that I learned from my mathematical errors. I learned that I'm not perfect. None of us are. Sometimes this is a difficult concept to accept when you live in such a high-achieving, competitive town like ours. Sometimes when we strive for perfection, we lose sight of what's truly important. Sure, we all want to be successful. We all want to be remembered. But what I'm here to tell you is that it takes no skill to be remembered. Changing the world can really just mean changing it for a few. If you leave those you touch happier, well then how much more successful can you really be? Now, the second thing I never learned was how to love physics. I see some of you nodding your heads in agreement, while I bet others are thinking the same thing about English class. There's probably even a rock field trip enthusiast in the crowd. Obviously, I could use this moment to take a point about our differences, but I believe that would be rather ironic because, as comedian Robert Orban put it, a graduation ceremony is an event where the commencement speaker tells thousands of students dressed in identical caps and gowns that individuality is the key to success. I think we know just how different we all are. So my point here is not about our differences. It's about roadblocks. It's about those times when life seems to be pelting you with lemons, and all you can do is continue to swing. You see, junior year me, fully aware of my disdain for physics, decided it would be a lofty idea to take engineering too. I know, what was I thinking? Now that class did in fact teach me that I should never ever take up computer science, but I also learned that those things that seem incredibly life-sucking, time-pausing, those things, they really don't have to be. Attitude can change everything. Approach things with a sense of humor and laugh, and honestly, laugh through the pain. I'm no fortune teller, but I do know that our futures will hold some obstacles. So why sink your mindset when it's under your control? Approach the roadblocks with a smile and a laugh, and trust me, if this philosophy can make coding fun, well then we will be unstoppable. The third thing I never learned was why exactly the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. This is just a fact, a morsel of knowledge that was imprinted on all of our brains since freshman year biology. But I bet you AP Bio students could set me straight. Like with any difficult class, knowledge came at the cost of pushing yourselves. During these past few years, we encountered stress, challenged procrastination, and battled a daunting shadow of sleep deprivation. Yet this dedication and passion impresses me. That brings me to my point, and it's a realization so important that I have to just come out and say it. If nothing else, love what you do. We are stepping into a world of endless opportunities. Let's do our best to learn from each other and find a purpose in how we choose to spend our time. Let's live a life that is worth it. So the moral of the story is, you might not need the quadratic formula, engineering isn't for everyone, and the mitochondria is, well, I'm still waiting on that one, but I hope what you picked up during my rambles is that there's always something to be learned from every situation. Just because things may not turn out the way you expect them to, does not mean the experience was not valuable. This message we must keep in mind as we grow and face new and intimidating challenges. Have a laugh and see the good. Remember that life is full of hidden lessons, it's just up to you to find them. Now I suppose the last thing I never learned was how to say goodbye. You see, these past few minutes I've shared some laughs and nice memories with all of you, but it was all in an effort to prolong the last thing I must do, and that is to say goodbye. So this is farewell, class of 2022. I cannot wait to see the great things that you do.
It's rough going following these students. Well done, Dia, Namai, and Kelsey. And I know Lauren's gonna rock it, and Paul was awesome. So, as a member of the school committee, and mama to one of these glorious graduates. Hi, Lulu, my love. I'm delighted to be here to congratulate all of you and wish you well on behalf of the Medfield community. Right now, my heart is with an abundance of emotions. It's been a long road filled with unexpected twists and turns and many ups and downs, but despite that, I am filled with so much hope and so much gratitude. But my heart is also really heavy. Thinking about our babies embarking on their next journey. The thought of letting go is challenging, but the reality is that our seniors are ready to soar. And as bittersweet as that is, they are ready to make their mark and they are ready to make this a better world. How do I know this? I've witnessed it all year long. When I go to establishments in town, I see our kids holding down jobs, looking people in the eye, and engaging in conversations. I've gone to games, recitals, plays, exhibits. Our kids excel at their craft because they put in the time and the effort. When I heard about the record numbers of seniors choosing to do the end of year senior project, it says everything about their curiosity and their desire to explore the depths of their interests. These are all traits and tools that will serve you the rest of your life. And my heart is also filled with hope. During our last sessions of the year at St. Edward's, where I work with 6th to 10th graders, we hosted a series of panel discussions with graduating seniors, parents, social workers, and more, where the 6th graders submitted anonymous questions, and no question was off limits. From what's your favorite holiday to if you could redo middle school or high school, what would you do differently? Let me just say that the seniors blew our minds. They talked about self-love, self-care, self-advocacy, and self-respect. They talked about the importance of family traditions, and family values. They shared how to avoid getting sucked into drama. This one senior said to the 8th grade class, "Look, I get it. I know it's hard, but the one thing I have come to learn is that you just cannot control other people or situations, but what you can control is your own behavior and your own actions and reactions." They talked about choosing friends who lift them up. They addressed the importance of rest and reflection and prioritizing mental health and well-being. And what I realized is that we can have faith, confidence, and comfort in our seniors to find their way and lead fulfilling lives. And now my heart is filled with profound gratitude. Thank you, parents, guardians, and teachers for nurturing and educating these awesome human beings. Our graduates possess depth, wisdom, and empathy. And as awful an experience that COVID has been, I believe that this time cultivated a lot of possibility of introspection and growth. And these seniors have chosen growth. But before I close, I'm going to ask all of you for two things. First, will all the parents and guardians of those with their last child going through the Medfield schools please stand up? Stand up if you've got your last kid going through. Woo! When I look out, I see, keep standing, sorry. When I look out, I see our collective stories and your generous contributions to this school district. Thank you for all you've done. You deserve this extra special shout out, but please stay standing. Now, can all the other senior parents please stand up as well, because all of you have earned a round of applause as well. We did it, phew. Thank you. Now you can sit down. Now, graduates, you probably can guess where I'm going with this. I'm going to ask you to let your love shine and be heard collectively. So when I say the word, I'd like you to stand and make eye contact with your loved ones here or here in spirit, and either blow them a kiss or make a little heart sign towards them while we all say, I love you, on my count to 3. I know you guys can do this, all right? Okay, ready? Please stand up. Come. 1, 2, 3. I love you, Louisa. Nice. Thank you for being great sports. All right, now sit down. Thank you. All right, seniors, one last thing you should always know is that you have a safety net here in Medfield whenever you need it. You can reach out not only to family, but former teachers, coaches, guidance counselors, faith leaders, a trusted adult. Someone will always have your back here, I promise you, simply asked. So go forth with open hearts and open minds and a strong spine, knowing you are loved and supported by so many here and here in spirit. We wish each and every one of you joy, purpose, and fulfillment. Congratulations to the class of 2022 and their loving families. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Lauren Scofield, and I'm the senior speaker. This is my speech. It was 3rd grade, and I was slightly stupid. My teacher had given us an assignment to write about a small moment, a short, seemingly insignificant, and forgettable experience that actually ended up having a lot of meaning. At the time, a concept of a small moment wasn't really clicking with me, so I ended up writing about a ladybug crawling on some pebbles next to a small flower and also a small mouse. While I'm certain the resulting piece of writing was more than deserving of a Pulitzer Prize, the importance of a small moment was absolutely lost on me. When you're in 3rd grade, the big things are the important ones: recess, field trips, ice cream parties organized by the class parent. But as I near the end of my time at Medfield, I have found that the small moments, not literally small ones, in case anyone hasn't caught on by now, are the ones that have worked their way into my heart to stay. Yes, prom was really fun, but for me, nothing could top the buzz of my English class after completing an impressively speedy Wordle, or listening to the cacophony of Spanish and French music filling the language hall throughout the month of March, or watching the boys in the back of the cafeteria lift their table in the air just to be chased down by Marty. That's not to say there weren't small moments that I hated, like the feeling right before taking a math test, or fire drills in the stinging snow, or waiting in a line of cars outside the high school as the second hand strutted towards 740. But those moments were never isolated. They were always followed by a bit of kindness, a blanket to fend off the snow, or a teacher waving you into their room after the morning bell had rung. Or at least a bit of commiseration, like the look a class would exchange after reading the first problem on a test. All I have to say is, thank God for test corrections. In these small moments, I found laughter, exasperation, excitement, and disappointment. I found the people I love. I found myself. I think I'd like to look at the future this way, too, by breaking it up into small moments. It's easy to plan ahead and look forward to the big things, like college move-in day, or the first time we see our hometown friends again over Thanksgiving break, or the last time we'll ever take a multiple choice test. But I want to appreciate everything in between. I want to hold on to every small, minuscule, insignificant bit of the love we shared and the community we built, from the playground at Memorial School all the way to this turf right here as we sit and sweat and get ready to graduate. I have had the time of my life with you, class of 2022, and I hope you know that all of you will live on in my small moments forever.
And now we get to present the diplomas to the class of 2022. Dia Yadapadathaya, class president. Brendan Paul Lawless, class vice president. Alexandra Page Lusby, class secretary. Lily Catherine Cumming, class treasurer. Catherine Ann Waters, representative to the school committee. Caitlin Marie Panciaco, student council president. Emma Grace Bannister, student council vice president. Charles George Katsakaris, student council secretary. Aryav Yadapadathaya, student council treasurer. Carrie Lynn White, representative to the school committee. Elizabeth Mary Daly, student council historian. Wesley Matthew Lawson, student council public relations. Nimai Tarun Kinney, honor essayist. Kelsey Grace Quint, honor essayist. Lauren Ann Scofield, senior speaker. Medj Al-Kurdi. Isaac Cole Aldrich. Colin Paul Anastas. Hannah Isabella Arias. Maxwell Alter Augustini. Nathaniel Paul Bakke. Hugh Edward Barrows. Dominic Andrew Bartolotta. Caitlin Paige Barton. Emberly Isabella Burgess O'Donnell. Christopher Walter Bethany. Joseph John Bethany. Madeline Summers Bicknell. Brian Sebastian Bortek. Evelyn Elizabeth Boudreau. Jack William Boylan. Jennifer Marie Boyd. Louisa O'Shea Brooke. Andy Sugeta Brown. Isabella Madeline Brown. Sophia Marie Bruno. Shannon Mary Burns. Gren Ruth Campbell. Kirsten Cara Carlson. William Edward Carpenter. Timothy Joseph Casey. James Thomas Chadwick III. Matthew Hanyuan Chi. Peter Joseph Clifford. Cole Patrick Cloney. Olivia Christina Cloutman. Allison Mary Conca. Siobhan Mary Connolly. Aiden Ryan Carodi. Ryan Patrick Costello. Declan Oliver Crichton. Kaylee Thayer Cronin. Kevin Matthew Cronin. Elizabeth Faith Crowley. Kathleen Ann Crowley. Patrick James Crowley. Madeline Diane Kermy. Luke James Daly. James William Davignon II. Alice De Lorenzo. Haley May DePaula. Nora Teresa Devlin. Madison Rose DeWolf. Matthew James Donahue. Patrick John Donovan. Chloe Ann Douglas. Seamus Michael William Dowling. Brendan William Driscoll. Sean Donovan Driscoll. Michaela Nicole DeRoss. Noah Gabrielle Michelet Epstein. Olivia Margaret Farmer. Quinn Curran Fedor. William Michael Fernandez. Austin James Ferry Kalo. Callahan McKay Foley. Kyle Brian Gaffney. Ryan James Gallagher. Isabella Julia Gangemi. Daniel Charles Gaudet. Anna Elizabeth Gellermini. Maximilian Robert Gobin. Jack Theodore Goodman. Lily Rachel Goodman. Rebecca Wendy Graham. Hayden Christian Sutherland Gray. Natalie Ann Haygood. Victoria Ann Hodge. Caroline Emma Harrington. Alexa Lynn Hasapides. Jack Joseph Hopman. Kylie Marie Herbstuber. Maya Lee Hilvert. Christopher Anthony Hodge.
Isabella Irene Iannone. Hannah Ann Johnson. Wyatt Elijah Kaleshian. Samantha Rose Caravan. Jenna Hall Cateltus. Vanessa Sophia Cordes. Benjamin Krantz. Maxim Krivanich. Liam David Ladd. Alicia Mejmia LaFontant. Ellie Jane Langton. Henry Douglas Lapham. Caleb Christopher Lawson. Zoe Crace Lewis. Marina Shuchong Linnert. Maxim Vladimir Lodkin. Mary Morgan Long. Joshua Luis Lozano. Sarah Catherine Lutazi. Madeline Veronica Lutz. Elizabeth Genevieve Lynch. Megan Ann McTavish. Catherine Robitaille Manning. Rebecca Chase Masella. Anne Ingram McCarthy. Megan Ray McCarthy. Grace Eileen McGowan. Nicholas Michael McNeely. Natalia Marie McNeil. Ryan Edward McNeil. Kathleen Eileen Merck. Jake Cameron Mawiney. Caroline Grace Mills. Jared Richard Mula. Luke Harrison Murphy. Paul Jordan Narkowicz. Megan Lee Naughton. Connor Michael Nee. Brett William Nickerson. Joseph Jeremiah Nickerson. Dominic James Nunziato. Caroline Rose O'Connor. Sina Gihan Osgul. Christopher Douglas Page. Tyler Michael Paquin. Rachel Grace Perry. Jan Philip Passas. Samuel John Patry. Megan Joyce Pease. Michael Valentino Pelkey. Drew Thomas Pizzulo. Adam William Price. Olivia Paige Price. John Thomas Puthia Paramble. Alice Elizabeth Reddy. Samantha Michelle Reddy. Joseph William Regan. Kelly Grace Regan. Henry Feeney Riley. Morgan Quinn Riley. Daniel James Riddick. Madison Kendall Rosen. Haley J. Ryan. Hannah Mae Sampson. Andrew Joseph Sear. Adrian Patrick Sheeny. Maxwell Todd Sherman. Tyler J. Shue. Thomas Carlisle Shirtliff. Abrielle Alice Silva. Benjamin Edward Sloboda. Sophia Domini Slesser. Maxwell Reese Solomon. Robert Allen Spence. Travis Casey Spitzer. Aiden Brett St. Mary. Andrew Michael Stanton. Jack Laszlo Stanton. Jack Gerald Sullivan. Alexandros Leonidas Tassiopoulos. Ryan Mark Tierney. Maggie Ann Toland. Anna Willett Trotter. William Eaton Vasquez. Sydney Noel Villa. William Henry Whitaker. Connor John White. Julia Gwendolyn Wilson. Noah Shepard Wilson. Yukiho Yoshida. Liza Emma Young. Sophie Kirsten Young. And Ashley Celeste Zalora. Please join me in congratulating the Medfield High School class of 2022.
I'd like to wrap this up. Graduates, if we can quick have a seat, we'll got to go over a few things and we'll get you out of here. So first of all, I want to thank Brenna Evans and the Medfield High School Orchestra and Band for spending their day off to be with us today. How about a round of applause for our musicians over there? The all-night grad party volunteers have asked me to remind the parents that the open house will take place immediately following our ceremony for those who want to take a peek inside the school. Seniors, please remember you are not allowed in the building until tonight. My friends, this concludes our ceremony. Guests, we ask that you remain where you are until our graduates have processed out. Thank you again for your continued support for the work that we do, and I wish you a great afternoon. Thank you and congratulations to our graduates.